the idea of today is to talk about joiners, authorities, and systems details. Joiners, firstly, so these are the joiners who want to join online to start with. Can do so using this button, the join button that's in the side menu, which is only there available to when people are not logged in. And when you've got two basic options with joiners, you can either present them with terms and conditions immediately and say you accept these, and then it will come onto this page secondly, or you can come straight to this page but get them to tick the box to say they accept the terms and conditions, and that is controlled by the systems details, and that is controlled by this switch here, which I called joiner pre-T's and C's. Well, basically it's a switch here which you can either turn on or turn off. If you turn it on, I just log out again and go to join. This time it presents the terms and conditions, and you have to accept them, or you can obviously abandon if you want to, but accept them before you get to the joiner page. The other option you've got is this more information button. So you can, in addition to T's and C's, you can let them have more information about whatever you want to describe to them before you start. So again, that is done. I'll go back again into systems details again, and that is this joiner information switch. So if you set that on, you are able to set up a page which will be presented when if you click on the button on the top right of the join page. So that's the switch it on, and then this one here, you put in the information again. This is a standard sort of text editing format, or if you want to put it in HTML, you can do it that way as you. So you've got that option to add that additional information to joiners if you want to give them. If you don't want it, you just turn off the switch here. Yes, right. So let's go back to the joiner page again. So I've left it set on the other one there, and I agree to the terms and conditions. And now you don't get the point, the thing at the top. So you don't get this tick to accept them because you already have accepted them. You don't get the more information if you turn those two things off. Right. Okay. So then if they're trying to join, then they obviously have to provide the information. Now the information provided depends on what you've decided when you set up your database, what fields you want to include and what fields you didn't. And so obviously there are specifically mandatory ones, sort of forename. And then you provide your address, and you've got this option to use the path file to find it if you want to. You provide an email address. It's mandatory to provide an email address. So people who join without email address will have to do it manually through the membership secretary. If they come from an address that is not in the path file, either because it's new or whatever, then you can click on there, and then the membership secretary can then ask for more details about their address is later on when it considers the application. Add the membership type, and this has a couple of things that it does. Obviously, if let's say I've got it set up so that if you set for membership, then it can here down ask you whether or not you want whether they want the Third Age magazine to be delivered, not delivered, available. Yeah, delivered, isn't it? Yes, delivered. Although, if you go from a member of another U3A, that disappears. They don't have the option to do that. So that is all set up in the membership types about whether or not that thing is shown or not.
Just a little tip, Chris, for those that are new to running this system. What we do is, yes, if they join online, they get that "Do you want the Third Age Matters" magazine. If they're new joiners, most of them haven't got a clue what the devil the Third Age Matters magazine is. So they tick yes automatically because they think to themselves, "I'm paying me money, I'm going to get it." After a few months, what we do at Peterborough is we contact them and say to them, "Now you've had a couple of copies of the Third Age Matters magazine, do you still require it?" And I would say the majority turn around and say, "No, it's pretty boring, isn't it?" So we just take it out again.
Okay, good. One of the other options in accepting the membership type is that if, again, it's in system details, I'll show you in a tick. If you select another U3A, the way I've got it set up, it asks for, well, what is it then? And that becomes a mandatory field if you say you want that to be entered. Telephone numbers. The one telephone number is mandatory, others are optional. And then again, emergency contact information, both number and name, and that sort of information goes in there. And then you've got 3 additional fields which you chose when to use or not use in systems details. And I've just got them set up like this: dog walker and various other. And so one of them is just a text field. One of them is one of them is a limited entry text field, so I think it only takes 40 characters or something. The second one is a full text field, which can take a lot of characters if you want it to be. And then the other one is a yes/no question, which you may or may not use. Right, okay, the other options that you might or might not use is National Trust, English Heritage. I never know quite how that's pronounced. Cabwa, is it something like that?
Cadu.
Cadu. Oh, right, okay. And then there's a question about whether they are registered or no, whether they qualify for gift aid or not, which they can fill in here. Last one at the bottom is to do with any needs, any access things, or which you can say yes to there, and then describe whatever something sensible, I suppose. And if you put this on there and put yes here, this when the name is displayed, it comes up with an icon alongside to say that this particularly for group leaders and things, it's important for them to know about whether the member needs any help or whatever. Right, then you fill in the sum to make certain to avoid sort of other people sort of doing these things automatically, and then you've got 4 options. One's a quit, but assuming you don't carry on, you may have decided to allow card payments. You may have decided to allow them to pay by direct debit on join. I'm not quite sure many do that. I think probably that's perhaps comes later. And then you may end up getting a check or whatever it is, or you pay later or whatever, and so you've got this third option of paying later. So if we start off with a card, if you've set it up, and we'll go and have a look at where that's set up. Right. Okay. Before it's done that, because of the information I've entered, it has done a check against all the existing members to see if this person is likely to be already a member, and instead of paying their renewal, but trying to join again. And so this, I think it looks at 5 different items: family name, postcode, email address, and telephone number. I think, and so I think if 3 of the 5 are the same, then it puts off this red thing at the top saying you may well already be a member. But if you're not, you can just carry on saying no, I want to pay, and I want to pay by card. So so you get your card and you pay, make the payment, and then submit it. Right, so the system will, so that information, the credit card information that anybody enters there has not been seen by U3AWeb at all. It goes straight through to Stripe. So there's no record of any, or it doesn't see it or record it, any information about their credit card number or anything like that. So obviously Stripe has that, and Stripe has all the certifications which allow them to do that. Right. Okay. So that's an online payment. Let's start again and do a direct debit payment. So again, we've got to go through the agreeing the terms and conditions.
On that point you made, Chris, about their financial details not being stored in U3AWeb, we make quite a big thing of that, because there are quite a few of our members who say, I don't want my credit card details stored by the U3A, and we have to explain to them umpteen times that we don't keep any of your credit card details. But
no,
whether it sinks in or not is a different question.
And even if you go into Stripe and have a look, it never tells you the full credit card number, does it? It just gives you the last 4 digits, I think, doesn't it?
Yep.
So you don't. So there's nobody involved in this has any access to your card number.
Yeah. The one that really makes us laugh when we get to renewals is we run a. They can do it themselves online, obviously, but we also supply for those that either feel they can't or they can't be bothered, one or the other, to do it online. We have a telephone help desk. And they say, oh, well, I'm never sure about putting my credit card details in online because I'm not sure it's secure. And we try to explain to them, but by ringing this telephone number, you are now giving us your full credit card number, your expiry date, your CSC code and what have you. This is less secure than doing it online. You don't know me from Adam. But they still don't get it. No, I still want you to do it. Okay, fine. I'll go and have a spending spree on your card then.
Right. Yes. Okay. So, so the second person, let's say they want to pay by direct debit. Now, if it's been set up, the same again. If it's set up in systems details that you want to accept direct debits, then the system will do this. And what it's now done is gone out of U3AWeb and gone across into Go Cardless. So this is similar to the way Stripe's doing it, except we're now actually in their system and putting in it. We put the information they provided, name, address, email address, etc., and then it will then ask for the sort code and the bank number, account number. And you can say yes to that. Yeah, set up this direct debit. Right. So this is now created a direct debit, and the system overnight tonight will request the however much it is from their bank account. And then thereafter, it can take, obviously would take renewals and things that way, unless a member decides they didn't want to do it. So quickly just go through the third type.
One thing with the direct debits, Chris, maybe to point out to the newer U3AWeb users, is that if a member leaves the U3A, the direct debit automatically cancels.
Yeah. Right. So if we go down to here again, and now this time they don't want to pay to start with; they just want to apply to join. They click on Pay Later, and right. So now we've put 3 applications in: one direct debit, one credit card, and one not paid stage. So if we log in and have a look. Firstly, I think what I'll log in and have a look at is the membership type. We mentioned a couple of things on that were options on that front page. This is the membership type in systems details, and this provides various information. So down the side, you get the however many types of membership you want. Whether or not you allow people to pay online. The TAM question there is the one about third age matters. The info required one there, it says yes against the member of another U3A. So this is the thing saying, yes, ask for some more information, and then this is the text you ask for. You put that in there. And obviously here we've got a guest member, and it's the last one. Oh, sorry, not the last one, but the member enable. When people can go in and change the information that that the U3A hold about the member, and what you don't want to be able for them to do is to say start off paying full membership and then craftily turn themselves across to guest membership because they don't pay anything for that. So although this one actually does say yes, it should say no, because you don't want the member to be able to go and change themselves from full to guest, although you might want them to change from full membership to another member of another U3A.
You're assuming that knowledge is available to our members, the ability to be sneaky.
Sorry, just say again.
You're assuming that our members are capable of being sneaky.
Yeah, well, yes, we just close the door just in case.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, right. So yeah, and the last column there is the whether or not you it's a joint membership or so. And if you've got that set to join yes, then I'll go back and do another join for a joint member. So if we go back again to start with another one, they come online and this time they're saying, yes, I want to be a joint member.
And I'll take this opportunity to apologise to Chris, because I think this joint member thing was pretty much done at our request at Peterborough, and then blow me down after about 18 months after he'd gone through all the work, we abandoned joint membership.
I think Port Maddock use it.
Oh, do they?
Yes, I'm not quite sure if anybody else does, but certainly. Oh,
Cockermouth does.
Who does?
Cockermouth.
Oh, you do. Okay, and I think Flintshire does as well.
Oh, right. So long as it wasn't just us, as I say, we pushed and pushed and pushed for that, and then blow me down, we abandoned it.
Well, it did prove to be have lots of little exceptions. You know, what you do in this circumstance and that circumstance, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah.
So, Paul, do you find it successful then? Works all right.
Yes and no.
Oh, we found it worked very well, but it was just that we decided not to do joint memberships anymore. But we found it worked quite well, Chris, before we abandoned it.
So what's? Can you just sort of very briefly tell us what doesn't work so well?
Well, we use the delivery code addressed with POS to tell us that we have to send a copy of the newsletter by post to that person. And in the case of family members, that POS field is not editable in membership directory. So we get duplicates.
So which field is that? Sorry, just
Delivery code.
oh, delivery code. Yes, yes. So would you not just set the delivery code to blank in the junior in the secondary member then?
You can't. It's not editable.
It's not editable. Really?
No,
Yeah, Paul,
it doesn't even appear under members directory.
yeah,
Okay.
we had a similar problem at one point, Paul, but then we ended up we completely solved it, and I'm trying to remember how the devil we solved it now. So are you saying that 2 copies of your paper newsletter can end up going to the one address? Is that what you're saying?
They could do, but I mean, I manually go through the list in Excel and prune out the duplicates.
Right. Well, Chris, I remember that what you did for us was you did a query that weeded out duplicate addresses.
Well, there is obviously the TAM. There is a report, isn't there, called?
Yeah, you did it against our paper newsletter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The TAM one was slightly different because not everybody was taking TAM.
No, that's right. It was.
But then everybody wanted the local paper. Well, everyone wanted the local newsletter, and only some of them wanted paper, and some of them were joint members at the time. And you did a specific report for Peterborough. I can't remember what the devil it was called now, but you did one that weeded out duplicate addresses, and if you could give that to Paul, that would sort him out.
Well, it doesn't take long. I mean, in Excel, it's only 3 duplicates there, so.
Right. Okay. Oh, sorry. Right. So what we're saying is that in the membership directory.
Yeah.
Well,
For a family member, the field POS delivery code is not visible.
Oh, I see. You mean it's for the second person it's not deliver. It's not.
Yes. Yes.
So why didn't you just leave the first person? Oh, I see.
Yes, because then neither of them.
Then neither of them have got it. Okay, understand. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, it's something that we could change if you felt it's worth doing. Yes. Right. Okay. So let's have a look at. So now we've got the people have applied to join. So the membership secretary then has these come into applications to join. The membership secretary will have got an email saying there are some applications there for you to deal with. So let's deal with the one where we didn't put in a where we said deal with it later. In fact, I think it was that one, but we'll do it with this one. So now you have the option to say, well, okay, all right, thanks for your application, but now we want you to pay some money before you can become. And so we've got this invite link there. Click on that, and if you produce the, if you set up the email in systems details again, it will send that email properly personalized to the applicant, John Pierce in this case. Could be, of course, that you've already received the money, in which case you can click on, you can bypass that, because you don't need them to go and come back again with money because you've already got it. So if you just bypass that, you can now accept it.
Chris, quick question on the validation of direct debit. Is there any validation if, for example, they put a wrong digit in?
A wrong digit in their account number?
Account number or sort code?
Right, yes. Well, I believe that will get rejected by, well, I'll tell you what, they'll check
I mean,
it.
I would assume that Go Cardless would reject it, but
Yes, Go Cardless.
would the member then get an email, an
Yes.
automated email?
Yes, they'll get one directly from Go Cardless to say we've had an application for you, and this does seem to be invalid information.
Okay, thank you.
To be honest, I'm not quite sure what action they can take. I imagine they're given a link to go in and change it, but to be honest, I've never gone down that route before, so I would think that's probably what happens. Right. Okay. So. This first person was the direct debit payer that we put in, or it may have been a direct payer that's been put in. It comes out in date sequence, so yeah, so it's been done today anyway. So you've got various things here along their name. The first thing is the old red X, which if it comes in and you say, oh, that's just a load of rubbish, that's somebody messing about, you can just delete it. And delete it means delete it. Nothing else happens. You just take it out of that, and nothing else will ever happen to that application. You've got decline, which is where you can actually send an email. So for some reason you may decide to decline them. There's an email format for it, which again, which you can set up in the way you want to, and that will send that note to them because they provided their email address. And then you've got the information button. Now this is sort of similar to what they looked at when there was the information was the same, and if it's red, then right, if it's red, then what it does, it says, well, here's the information that's provided, and the system's worried about it because it has a similar attribute, if you like, and so it's got the same email address and phone number, because I've put this in hundreds of times, as you can see, but generally it would have hopefully only come out with one. But it's there to highlight to you that there is an exception with this particular application. If it's blue, you just get the top part. It's just giving you the information of what they put in. You don't obviously get the red bit at the bottom. This one here, so. This one's a direct debit one, so I presume you would sit and wait until this one turns from waiting for payment to direct debit payer payment made. So you probably wouldn't deal with that until the actual money comes through. With Peter Taylor, this one here, second one, they have actually paid. You've got the money is in your Stripe account, and so you can accept that person immediately. And then the third one was the third type, which was they didn't do either card or thing. They just said, I'll pay later. So the additional thing you've got here is that you can, Alan was talking about earlier on, if they are uncomfortable about tapping in the information themselves, they can phone the membership secretary up, and the membership secretary can take the card details over the phone and put the information in there, and that works in exactly the same way as we just looked at them entering it, and it would then come back round again and would come up paid online for online membership.
Yeah, Chris, just one thing to point out on that's against, what is it, Mr. John Pierce. You've got the credit card icon. If you look further down to Mr. Alan Peckham, that one was a paid for. No, that's an application for, not paid.
Yeah.
Until you press bypass invite, you don't get the credit card icon come up. If you press bypass invite, you straight away get the credit card icon come up.
That's right. So if somebody phones you up and say, I've made an application, I'll pay by card, then you bypass the thing, and you've now got the card which to pay.
Yeah. That's what we tend to do as a process, Chris, is if we get any that come up whereby they haven't paid but they're in the applied to join, and we've got the bypass, the membership secretary phones them and says, okay, fine, we're about to let you in, but we now need payment, and they then press that bypass invite and straightway take the payment over the phone.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So the one other thing on this page here is the red clock. And the red clock is that if, let's say, you've had an application which has been sitting in here for some time, we can go back to some of the old stuff that's here since May 2023, you can click on there and it will send a reminder to them to say, do you still want to join? It's the same email that comes out if you set in systems details a number of days. I'll find it rather than explain it, I think. Right, join and reminder days. So you set that to whatever you want, 15 or whatever. And after 15 days, of the system will send out a reminder to them. But if you want to, that will work automatically and send out a reminder if you put an email format in there. If you leave the email blank, it won't send anything. It just assumes you don't want to send any. So a blank email format says don't send this email. So back to applications to join again. So this little red clock here does exactly the same operation, except it just sends it for that one person. So you may have done it after 15 days and he still hasn't paid. Or you give him one more chance and send it again. It's entirely up to you, really. But it's there if you need it. So that's the dealing with the applications. I think that probably covers it all. Is there anything I haven't covered, do you think, in joiners? Right, okay. The second part of today was to talk about authorities. And I'm going to talk about authorities and systems details all mixed up together because they're so intertwined. So let's start off with authorities. Authorities is the way in which you can provide a member of the U3A with certain authorities to undertake certain actions. And the left menu here is very much driven by the authority of the person looking at it. So if they are only an ordinary member, they get many less things here down the left hand side. But if they've got certain levels of authority, then they'll start to get more things. So if they have membership authority, they will get these. If you switch them on, you don't have to give them all of them, but this will give the membership secretary all these particular actions. So only people with membership authority get that. Same with treasurer. All these options are available to the treasurer or any member that you give treasurer authority to, and administrator the same. So those are the sort of three main authorities. And what I'll do is I'll just go and have a look, and you update that by using this member authority levels. So there are actually 15, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different authorities. Directory and membership are similar in that directory gives access to membership information without giving them the ability to update. So they can see it but can't change it. Whereas membership is there to update. And that's these two here. Administrator is obviously the one that controls everything, and but as the administrator, you have to decide whether or not you turn on various things. yourselves, and so you'll find that some of the items aren't available to you unless you as administrator give yourself particular authority to do particular things. But because only the administrator can change this table here. Right, the other ones there. So your group coordinators, that's the G's. So you don't need to put your group leaders in here. They will automatically get access to their groups without having group authority because they are the group leader. And I've seen some U3As that have set all their group leaders up with G, which that's a mistake, because not only can they then change their own groups, they can go and change other people's groups as well. And so we should really be careful doing that. So, but the group coordinator does have the right to change any group. There are some other actions that the group coordinator has, which the group leader doesn't. I think deleting a group is one. I think copying a group is another, because well, you don't want to suddenly find you've lost one of your groups because they've accidentally clicked the delete. The group leader has. But the group coordinator can do all those things. Speakers, that's basically monthly meetings, and that authority controls updating the monthly meeting page, really. Outings is the same. That is the controls the what's the the outings page, where you can add things to it, take things away. And so these are not groups, these are the outings. Notices. I'm not sure notices works anymore. I think notices has been overtaken, but I'll come back to it if it's not true. Bulk email. Bulk email is one that you obviously give to people who give the authority to send out bulk emails to the members. So this is not bulk emails by group leaders to their groups. This is the ability to send bulk emails to the whole of the membership or a subset of the whole of the membership. So you can, and I think if the administrator doesn't give themselves bulk email, they don't have that feature. As I remember, that's one of the ones I think it doesn't do. Photos is the photo gallery, updating that, taking out images there. So it's basically updating this page here.
A question about photos.
Yeah.
Basically, we've told our group leaders that they can put photos in the photo library, but of course we've got to manually give them that privilege, isn't it?
No, there's a feature in there which allows group leaders to add photos to their own group. So
right.
So if we go into the group list here,
yeah, but that's just visible to them and them only, yeah.
To the group only, yes. So so if you're saying that yes. So this is the gallery for the group. You're saying you want group leaders to be able to put stuff in for everybody to see.
Yeah, Chris, it's not just available to the group, it's to anybody that visits that group page, whether they're members of the group or not.
That is true. That is true.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Any member can actually look at the gallery. Yeah, that's true.
I thought there was a separate side button for picture gallery for visitors, which is separate. And you put that on the one that visitors page. And yeah, there are two menu items, picture gallery and picture gallery for visitors. They can put in the side menu. There's two options.
Is there really? I will have a little look at that and find out what it does. Is there an option on the picture gallery that you're allowed to, whether you can make it public or not then?
No, well, I don't know, but there are two menus you can choose two items in the side menu you can choose. One's called picture gallery the other called Picture Gallery for Visitors, which I always presume was, you know, a different set of photographs for the visitors, but maybe they behave the same. I'm not sure. If you look in the side menu, the
Right. No, I was just looking to see if you could. Right. I haven't got them in my side menu because I've just got the one.
But if you look in the system details side menu and look at what the options are in the drop down here, then
Oh, you're right. There is. Yes. Yes, there is. Well, I don't know what that does. Oh, do you know? I think that, yes. Thinking about it now, I think that is an option that some people wanted the picture gallery to be public for everybody, and some didn't. So you choose one or other of those depending on which one you. So if you want it to be available to everybody, then you use visitor, and if you use if you only want members to be able to see it, you just pick picture gallery. Yeah. Okay. It's the same gallery they see. It's just who can see it. Right. Writing reports. So the report feature has an option to be able to write your own reports, and as well as you use others and click on them. But you've got to have this authority to be able to write reports, because obviously it gives you access to the whole of all the personal information of everybody that you're holding. So you need to keep control of whoever does that. Refunds. So some have a sort of an authority system to actually authorize refunds, so the treasurer can't do it on their own. They have to have other people to help them, and therefore they can be nominated here to be refunders, if you like. Archive is access to the archive.
Third one down, Chris.
But that's archive groups. Archive groups is different. Archive groups is when you finish with a group and you don't want to delete it. You want to keep the information, but you don't want it showing up. You archive it rather than delete it, and therefore it doesn't come out on the group list, but comes out on the archive group list. So all these items, all these have been archived and don't turn up. So, but the archive is I don't think I've got it set up here. Is basically where it's a subset of the document store. So the document store is the most sophisticated of all the way of archiving data. The archive happened before the document store, and therefore is a way in which the archivist can stick stuff away that only he can see, or he and she can see, and so it's just a way of storing data which isn't necessarily available to everybody else. The secretary has a very limited authority, as I can't quite remember what it is, to be honest. It's sort of it's something associated with the administrator, but they can only do a very limited things. And to be honest, I've forgotten what it is, and so I can't tell you. And content is updating pages. So inside systems details, I think you've got to have that to be able to update the content. So you here you select all the people who you want to have the various authority levels, but this is where it links into systems details, in that you may only want some of these people, the treasurer, for instance, to see certain restricted parts of it, or and so you've got this table again called section list.
Chris, just before you go off the authorities,
Yeah.
Venues, we've just kicked off doing the updates. So originally everybody just could look at the venue list, and then we gave one person the authority to actually do the update. So I checked to make sure that their venue list also had venue update, and checked people, well, they only had the venue list because they had them two listed on the side menu. But subsequently found that some people are saying, I've got the venues update, and they haven't got the authority for it. They can go to it and say you are not authorised to use it, but I thought they wouldn't even be given the option to use it.
No, yeah. So what you're saying is that the menu item is there, but the
Yeah, on the side menu, I've got 2 item menus, one for view and one for update.
yes,
The different code by the side of it.
right.
And if I look at it, I get them both, and the person I gave the authority to gets both. And I looked at a couple of others, and they only had the one, the list, didn't get the other one. But a few people have said, and I've checked them out, when I look at their view, they actually get the update authority, and I can't for the life of me see why they're getting it.
So they actually, you've set the authority, but they sorry, you haven't set the authority for them, but they get it on the side menu, you're saying?
Yes.
Really? Okay. I'll have a little look at that.
But it's not all the time, it's just certain people.
Yeah. So certain people who have maybe other authority, would they have other authority?
Yes, that's what I was trying to link it in to see if there's one particular authority which might be making a conflict. I don't know. The ones that tried, they just had no authorities whatsoever.
Right.
And that's okay. But 1 or 2 people with only one authority are still getting it.
Would you raise a ticket for that and give me an example?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but when I saw he was doing it on the programme, I'll
Yes, please, if you would. Yeah.
see about it. Yeah, I'll raise a ticket. Yeah, I'll give you the membership numbers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the systems details is you can have as many or few sections. No, I'm going to go back to the start. There are about 170 parameters that you can put information in to actually drive the system. It says 235. I don't know that. No, I think that's a sequence number. And so they are all listed here. They're all listed with a name and a description. You can change that name and change that description to any way you want to. But once you've changed it, well, it will be called that, and then you can change again if you want to later. So you've got a full list there. If you want to, you won't want everybody to have all those facilities available. You might not want some of those facilities at all, in which case you can exclude them. And so you've got you can set up various different sections, and so I'll just take the top one here. The section is called special, and when it's set up, it's been set up to be only available to the administrator. So anybody else who logs in with any other authority, if they don't have a admin authority, they won't see this one. And oh, that's just the name. Yeah. So the thing is, what's in that, and that's you've got here the joiner information we looked at earlier on. So and it comes up here. So sorry, this is this thing, and here are all the 170 or whatever it is different options, and 5 of them have been chosen to go into this special section. If you wanted to add another one, you could just click on it and OK it, and now there's 6 in there. So if we go and have a look at systems details, so it's now have a titles list I think I put in. So that's now sitting here. So, but only the administrator can see that. See this top page. Everybody else would start its subscriptions all, and so if you wanted to allow the group coordinator to look at it, you can click on there and update it, and now group coordinators will be able to see that section as well. So in a way, this is a way of dividing up the parameters to give it to only the people you want to give it to, only the people with the necessary authority. So the financial information, is the treasurer and the administrator. So anybody else looking at it won't see that. And so that it's just a way of organising it. And I think it's very wise to, if you've got parameters you don't use, is to take them out of all of these, so they don't confuse, if you like. And I think it would make your systems details much smaller and much easier to manage if you do that. So and if you want a new section, it's just purely the blue cross at the top. So well, good typing. Yeah, so just by putting that, you now get a new one in. It isn't available to anybody. It doesn't have any features. So if you want to start saying, well, I'm only going to allow it for them and them, and I want to have these particular things available, yeah, you just do that, and then systems details. And so now we have this. Oh, there. It's not there, is it? Why is it not there? Oh, I forgot to give it to me. Give it. So I thought I'd. Yeah. Okay. Right. So now it's got there. So now if I look in systems details, it will be sitting there, and so there are the three things we've set up. So you've got that, which so by using the authorities and also this, you can hopefully make this particular page, which you do need to do a lot in to start to set it up in the way you want to, but perhaps can organize it in the way that suits you. I think, Alan, you went and put all of them in one great big section, didn't you, at one point?
No, what we, I don't know, we may have done to start with and got in a right mess with it, but what we do now is the only people that have got visibility of absolutely everything is myself and Louis, the two system admins. But let's say I don't know, our membership person has only got access to a specific section called membership only, and that's only got some bits and pieces in there. So when they log in, they only see just the membership section. They don't see the whole kit and caboodle.
Right, good. Okay, so anybody got any questions about that?
Yes. Isn't it best to give authorities to the role rather than a named person?
Isn't that the same thing? I mean, I'm not quite sure I see the difference between that.
Well, instead of putting Pam Dewey, I put membership secretary.
Right. So what you mean when you do the authority?
Yeah.
So what you've set up a person's a member, if you like, and called them membership secretary.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So you've got two accesses yourself. You've got one, your personal one, and one as your job, your job title, if you like.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if somebody else comes along, they just take it over.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Right. Good. Okay. Any other comments anybody wants to make about the one thing I was going to ask you about, and that is the upgrade. We've so far, I think there's 5 U3As now that are on 12.1, so are using the new Google Dispatch thing, and I think it's I haven't heard any rude comments about it, so I'm presuming it's all working okay. So what I'd like to do is to, now it looks as though it's all working okay and everybody's happy with it so far, start getting people across to it. So so is everybody happy? You know, what I was hoping I can do is to do it on a sort of default basis, that if there is anything you don't want it to go, any reason you don't want it to go across for the next few weeks or week or whatever it is, then let me know. Otherwise, I'll gradually work my way through everybody and put it up. Okay.
The sooner the better for Peterborough, Chris, because we're just about to dive into renewals.
Right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, we're okay at Barry anytime.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
whenever you like.
right. Okay. I'll do that. Neil's had it for about 3 weeks, I think now. So I think he's made quite a lot of use of it so far. There is one change which I wanted to just briefly show you. The group's members list was a bit spread out and a bit.
Is this the thing, Chris, where you've made it 2 different colours on a line-by-line basis? I saw that the other day.
Yes, that's right. So trying to sort of compress it up a bit and try and make it tidier, and put it like that. Then hopefully nobody's got any objections to that, and I think probably it will make it easier to see for everybody. But the slight downside of it is that the text is a little bit smaller than it was before, in order to make it sort of fit nicely. Right. So it looks like that now in 12.1. So, okay, that's all I had on the list. Does anybody want to ask anything or comment or whatever?
Yeah, can I just ask, as you've got members lists up, if you download, as I have just done because I'm taking a theatre group out tomorrow, I don't want their address, I just want their emergency phone number and so on. Is there any way we can compress that when we download? So if you were to, download members there.
Yeah, looks like that, doesn't it? Yes.
I don't want the address, I just want the contact phone number and the emergency phone number details.
Right. Well, I think that makes some sense, doesn't it? Right. Would you raise a ticket and
Yes.
as a suggested change?
Yep.
Does anybody on the call think that would, or anybody object to that? Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Could that be, instead of a PDF, could that be an Excel document, and then you can manipulate
Yes.
what you want on it?
Yes, that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think just reduce it and such like. But I'm not sure if you put it in Excel and manipulate it, then you, in a sense, each time there's a change, you're going to have to recreate it. So I think just have this.
Yeah.
If that's a group that you're taking out, I mean, we do the same on our day trips. We take a different group for the day trips,
Chris,
and then we use it for the administration and seeing people onto the coach. So
Yeah.
I'm currently putting stuff into Excel, and then I'm able to manipulate it so I can put people by surname order and delete other information that we don't need.
yeah, I think from the downloads point of view, did you not move away from Excel spreadsheets because we hit some problems of some description, didn't we? I can't remember what it was now. Wasn't there something strange that was going on with Excel spreadsheets? Because this is basically a query you've run here, isn't it?
This.
Yes.
Sorry, you're talking to me.
Yes.
Yes. I think the best way would be to create a
CSV.
report which produces this information, the information you want, and then set it up in everybody's, make it available to those people who want it in your My Reports section, because that comes down as a spreadsheet then, and that then you could do that separately. You could do that now. You with me?
Yeah. Would you not have to then give that, if you've done it as a report, would you not then have to give that report ability to every single group leader?
Well, does every single group leader want that? I mean, you'd have to give it to everybody who wanted it, but it sounds as though it's only a few people who are manipulating in spreadsheets, doesn't it?
Yes.
So you could, we could have it as a report, and then you could enter the group number of the one that you wanted to do it for. So you
That
wouldn't have,
sounds good.
you wouldn't have a different group for every one.
Yeah.
We'll have a chat outside, Jan, to find out what it is you're actually manipulating. We'll have a chat outside the call.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Pam, you're nodding and saying, well, so that's something that you could have today, because that's
Yes.
just a report. If you like, I'll show you how to do that if you like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give you a call or something. We can go through that.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Anything else anybody wants to talk about?
Sorry, I've just got another anomaly. On the document store,
Yep.
when you try and update the associated page heading in the live system, it doesn't change it. Except, I've managed to find out is if you change the heading on the archivist, it picks it up from there. If that makes sense.
Let me just go back to it again. So we're in the document store.
We're in the document store, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got it set up and we want to change the actual associated page heading when it displays to something else.
Oh, you mean this?
Sorry?
The heading,
Yes.
the heading of the page, which I've got
Yeah.
archivist set up as.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's not changing it.
No, it is picking it up from the archivist. If you look at the display for the archivist, it's picking it up from that one. So to actually change the document store, I've changed it on archivist and it from the document store.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. And you use the archive and the store separately, I guess.
Well, what we were going to do is going to replace the archivist with document store because we can actually view things rather than display it all the time.
Yes. Right. Okay. Right. Fine. If you could raise a ticket for that, that's I can see why that's happened. So
All right. Okay.
put
Yeah.
that
It
right.
seems all right on the test system. But
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
So it's right on the test,
Yeah.
wrong in the live system. So maybe I've already corrected it then, and that's what 12.1's.
I don't know. I'll raise a ticket anyway.
Yeah, if you raise a ticket, that'd be great. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
All right. Good. Okay. Right. Well, thanks very much, everybody.